Welcome everyone to the Architecture and Design Department at Alfred State College. We are happy to have you joining us today, even if it is from a distance. We consider ourselves a family, and we are excited to host you and invite you into our community. So where do we begin? Well, let's begin with the basics, the who and what we are. We are a School of Architecture and Design that has 4 degree programs, as illustrated here. We have a 2-year Associate's degree in Interior Design, a 2-year Associate's in Architectural Technology, a 4-year Bachelor's of Science in Architectural Technology, and a 5-year Bachelor's of Architectural Professional degree. So you may be asking yourself, what can I do with this degree? The answer is simple, but it is also robust and dynamic. Some graduates will go on to become licensed architects. Others will go on to work in supporting roles as designers or project managers. Some will go on to further studies, graduate degree work, and some will work in allied fields, like real estate development, historic preservation, or urban planning. Our community is elaborated by 5 constituent organizations. 1. The American Institute of Architects, the professional organization that advocates for the value of architecture and gives architects the resources they need to do their best work. 2. The National Architectural Accreditation Board, an agency that evaluates architecture programs in the United States to ensure that graduates have the technical and critical thinking skills required to have a rewarding career in the profession. 3. The American Institute of Architecture Students, an independent nonprofit organization dedicated to excellence in architectural education and practice. For us, it is a bit of a social club. 4. The National Council of Architectural Registration Boards, a nonprofit corporation comprising the legally constituted architectural registration boards of the 50 states. This organization proctors the examinations to become a licensed architect, as well as determines the process for how to become a licensed professional. 5. The Association of Collegiate Schools of Architecture, an organization whose mission it is to lead architectural education and research by providing resources to programs, their students, faculty, and staff. The educational journey must begin somewhere. You wouldn't give a prospective surgeon a scalpel to use on patients on the first day of medical school, would you? But sometimes the early phases of design appear not so recognizable. This is the task of all early designers, to grapple with lines and shapes and materials and light and shadow, to challenge one's basic understanding of form and function, to come to terms with how things are put together. Sometimes our education is about how we see the world, how we make sense of it, and extract meaning from our perceptions. Our study abroad program in Sorrento, Italy requires our students to hone their means of seeing through techniques of sketching. Sometimes our way of seeing is in black and white. And sometimes it is in color, awash with the vibrancy of real life. Images like this represent a way of seeing that isn't normal, that offers a new way of seeing a different perspective. In this case, a God's eye view of Piazza Tasso in Sorrento. We also engage in a field trip in each and every studio course. These field study experiences provide real-life exposure to architecturally significant buildings, to their histories and cultural import. The geographies that these field study experiences navigate to are regional, but consist of cities like Buffalo, Rochester, Corning, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, New York City, and Chicago. Such trips provide students with hands-on, real-life instructional experience, where design is translated into built form. Learning collaboratively is a critical feature of our educational approach. But it is also a necessary feature of a profession that applies technology in challenging and cutting-edge ways. Here students receive a holistic approach to the profession, allowing them to see the entire process of design unfold, from initial napkin sketches to the constructed form. Here we see an example of a studio project that researched and designed a domestic program within the limits of a shipping container. Again, we offer an instructional environment of applied learning, whereby the creations of our minds are brought into physical realization. But aspiring to the status of licensed architect requires another tangential process. To earn a license and become an architect, a young designer will need to document real-world experience through the Architectural Experience Program, or AXP. Developed by NCARB and required by most U.S. licensing boards, the AXP provides a framework to guide young designers through earning and reporting their professional experience. As a young designer progresses through the AXP, they'll build up competency in the skills and tasks needed to practice architecture. With broad experience areas that reflect the current phases of practice, the AXP program prepares young designers for everything from site design to project management. Professional experience is simulated in all of our instructional activities, from our earliest studios to settings like this. Here you see a thesis project being reviewed by invited architects and student peers. The thesis project is a totalizing experience for a student in our program, and it marks the end of one's career, in our case the academic, and the beginning of another career, the professional. Such events provide a conducive environment for individual growth. To wit, it offers students and professionals a direct conversational interface where connections are made and jobs are offered. Moreover, the thesis experience becomes something of a testing ground for experimental architecture. By prodding the boundaries of everyday life, by challenging the status quo of traditional design ideas, the opportunities we provide in the Architecture and Design Department at Alfred State College, we believe are robust and fulfilling for the students' time while here on campus. Opportunities to join clubs look something like this. 1. AIAS, as previously mentioned, which we also call the Architecture Club. 2. Women in Non-Traditional Studies. 3. The Southern Tier Architectural Resource, or STAR Center, engages in civic projects, which, through the promotion of a sound design and planning principles, seeks to enhance the local built environment. These are a handful, but there are many other extra and intracurricular opportunities. Like this, a competition the Architecture Club participated in, where they designed boats out of cardboard, and competed to see how far each team could navigate before sinking. Among these opportunities, and if we remember the instructional framework of applied learning that we offer to our students, you might be asking what makes us unique, or what makes us distinct from other programs. Well, we offer the first and only fully NAB-accredited 5-year BArch degree in the SUNY system. And according to the Association of Collegiate Schools of Architecture, our program has the third highest graduation rate east of the Mississippi. Our students get jobs by focusing on real-world technical skills and application of these skills. Our students graduate with lifetime office hours, hours that will prepare them to be the most effective contributors to the profession. They do all of this through our program's motto, good design for the social good. Operating within such a scope means our students will have vibrant and robust effects on designing the future. And they will join an active family of more than 5,000 alumni, who are practicing architects and designers around the world. At this point, we will now transition to a virtual tour of our facilities as hosted by Professor Dorado and Mr. Tucker.